wherever in the world you might be watching HopEUm from. My name is Trevor Quickshot Henry, and I am, of course, your host for tonight's episode. Unfortunately, Kitty is a little bit unwell. If you have been following her on social media, you'll know that she had a little bit of food poisoning. So, Kitty, I'm so sorry you're missing the episode. I'm missing you on the episode, and I hope you feel better very, very soon. This is our 16th episode of HopEUm. We had a small break last week, which many of you will know. Obviously, there was no games to be played during the break week, so we didn't sit on our hands. We did actually record a special episode that will air at some point in the not too distant future. More details about that soon, but for the diehards that are here at the beginning of the show, I want you to know we did cook up something a little bit special, a little bit different that I can't wait for you to see. As a reminder, we're obviously on YouTube, we are on Spotify, we're on Twitch, where most of you are most likely watching right now. Please, please, please do like, comment, subscribe. If you're on Twitch, use that clip button. Help us spread the word. Help us let people know on Reddit and Twitter and social media wherever you're interacting with other League fans and players that this show exists. Because tonight we got a special one. If you have seen any of the announcements or the notifications on socials, for tonight's episode of HopEUm, we're going to have two really big, juicy interviews. To start things off, I spent around 30 minutes with Broken Blade immediately after Madrid, immediately after that shocking defeat in person in stadium. And then, of course, was 2 weeks ago. We're going to start the show off by speaking to Broken Blade. Then Skyaart will join me. We'll have a little bit of time, just the two of us, to break things down, talk about maybe some of the other regional rivalries, talk about the fact that we already qualify MSI, and then the superstar, the greatest player of Western League of Legends himself, Camps, will join us for an extended sit down. A special shout out to the G2 Discord. You guys really helped me prepare some of these questions and themes. While I may not name drop in the Caps interview, some of you get a special shout out in Broken Blade. That's enough from me. Reminder, comment, like, let us know what you think. Make sure you hit us up. I'll be active in chat in just a moment or two. For now, I think it is time to throw to, what was his name? Past Trevor? Is it Past Trevor? Let's see what Past Trevor has to say with Past Broken Blade. Thank you very much, future Trevor. This is Past Trevor talking to Past Broken Blade. At the time that we're having this conversation, it is just after the regular season has concluded. And before we talk all things League of Legends, dude, anime, manga, I see some empty shelves there. What's happening? Why is this not full yet?
I'm still collecting. That is why I have to have a little bit more room to put some stuff. I still have another full wall of empty space that I need to fill. But yeah, I'm very proud of my collection. Almost 1,000 pieces.
That is amazing. Almost as many episodes as One Piece.
Exactly.
What's your favorite anime of the season so far?
Oh, current season, I would say Jujutsu Kaisen probably.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very like awesome animation, I think. It's like eye candy, you know.
I finally decided to read manga again since literally like high school. So for me, that's a long time. And JJK is the one I was reading. I was hoping that there'd be more, but the anime has literally covered everything from the manga. Like, it's so faithful. I love it.
I
One
really
last
like
question.
it.
Favorite anime off the top of your head? I know you can't pick one, but what?
Bleach. Bleach is
Really?
my all-time favorite.
Oh,
It's just I am biased. I don't think it's the best, but it is my favorite. Because I've started with it. That was the first big thing I've watched, and I remember I was like 13, 14. That's when I started. I started a bit later than my brothers, and then that's the one I wanted to watch because I knew my brothers were already watching One Piece and Naruto, and I didn't really want to watch the same thing as they did. So I was like a bit edgy. I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch Bleach. So yeah.
listen, I think it's one of the better ones. Tite Kubo and Ichigo is like just awesome. Big fan. I watched Thousand Year Blood War. I don't think I liked it as much as the original, but I have too much nostalgia.
Oh really?
Yeah, I had too much nostalgia. I don't think it lived up.
I
Okay,
really like the Blood Walk, but yeah.
let's not too trapped in anime, because I am an old man weeb. We are here to talk League of Legends. Regular season has just concluded. You're a couple days after leaving Madrid. When we zoom out and think about the whole 7 weeks, how does Broken Blade and G2 feel about the regular season?
Well, I mean, I think this season was much, much more similar than how G2 usually performs in the regular season, I would say, rather than the last one we've had. We start off slow, ramp up, and by the end we're looking very solid. And I think that was basically the split. I'm very happy with how far we've gotten. I think we actually improved quite a lot, which is funny to say because our last result was second place in an international tournament. But I do think we had to, I mean, I do think we dropped the ball, and we had to, pick it back up, ramp up in the split, and get some dubs.
Do you think the overall competition has improved as well? Like when I look at Vitality, KC, Koi, it feels to me, obviously in a best of series, that they're actually stepping up to what we saw in Versus.
I mean, definitely, I think sometimes we have it that a team that is not like in the usual top three, top four is like stepping up big time. I think we've had it with back in the day with BDS where they were really solid in regular season. I'm really excited on how Vitality will do in playoffs because that's when those teams usually just crumble. Very excited. I think they've had a very incredible run, and I think they're also an exciting team to watch. That is like the wild card of currently the split. I think the other teams that were expected to be on the top are on the top, maybe minus Fnatic, but I don't think people value them as highly this year.
I mean, obviously, they managed to pick up a surprise win against you guys.
Yeah.
What did you think of the memes that came from that one? How G2 just gives them one win for false hope, lower them into the grave slowly. Like,
I mean, I could definitely tell they were happy winning that one. They really needed that one, and for us, we obviously lost fair and square. I think that loss for us was a big part of how and why we became better because we're like, okay, like we cannot lose games like this anymore, and I think that's where things really started rolling for us, and then for Fnatic it really went downhill. So it's really funny.
yeah, I mean, the thing that I found fascinating was that the bottom three teams, I think they went 1-23 against the top six. Like, it's crazy how different the level was. But at the same time, we have Navi coming in and frankly making one of the best debuts for a team and a brand and a logo. We have new-ish players coming to the scene like Naknako, who's kind of taken over. Rilich, who's looking really good. As one of the older gentlemen playing on stage, what do you make of like the 2026 year and seeing these new teams, new players? Like to me, it feels like it's a injection of new young blood.
I mean, I used to be always the young bloods, right? And nowadays I'm like older, and it didn't really hit me yet. But players rise up in the scene and like contesting you as a veteran, it really makes you have two choices. Either you adapt and you get better than them, or you get left behind. And I think that's the harsh truth of competition. But I've played many years that I know I will stay at the top as long as I'm here, because of what I do and how I'm doing it. So to me, it's more like a motivation rather than like a fear, if that makes sense. But I think it's really cool for the scene. It's really cool that there are new players to cheer for. There's, like I do understand that people get bored of us winning every single split, and there's new players to cheer for, and I understand that people want to see other teams win. And for me, I cannot care about this, right? I am still gonna win and do everything to win. And yeah, I mean, there's that. Yeah.
Be honest with me. Does it ever get boring winning the big trophies all the
No, I mean,
time?
definitely not. I think I do have to say there's some victories that, like, the trophies you win that are hard to win are much nicer than the trophies you win that are like 3-0. I'm gonna give you
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, look, the most recent versus title against KC was awesome, especially because we only went to game five because of you guys. Like, you kind of threw game three and game four, let's be
Yeah.
honest, right? But I will say this, talking about KC, one of the comments that came out of the Madrid Roadshow that I really liked was that Europe finally has more than just one team to watch. And I think as we've seen this rivalry between KC and Koi developing, the regional fan bases of Spain versus France, I think are now adding a desire to watch them at the same level as G2. What do you make of the regional rivalries, and is it good or bad?
I mean, I think it's very good. Because the people who are not like super into esports have like if they are like from either Spain or France have a very easy team to cheer for. That's one. Second, I think any rivalry is good. I think any rivalry is worth watching. Um, especially when both teams are good, especially when both teams have big personalities, which they do, and not only as players, right? It like the personality goes outside of the players, which
Yeah.
makes it even more enjoyable to watch and to cheer for. I think both teams have like a very huge fan base. I think that yeah, maybe one of the fan base is a bit harsher than the other one, but I do think it is very much needed in esports or in any kind of sport, to be honest.
I mean, one of the things I'd love to know is from your perspective. I want you to answer as Broken Blade first, but then can you also help me understand what you think the rest of the players feel? When you're standing on that stage and you're in a French stadium and KC are booing you, you're in a Spanish stadium and they're cheering for Koi, or you're in China and they only cheer for the Chinese teams. Like, how do you react to it? And how do you think the majority of the players around you, like the Giant X players or Heretics, etc., respond to those situations?
I mean, that's a very good question. I think for me, I I will take whatever I can to make it positive for me, right? So when people are booing you, they still acknowledge you, right? Like they still know you're there, and they're booing you to get into your head, right? So I do think that's them booing the enemy team is not looked as like a nice thing from any other fan base, and I don't think it's a nice thing to do. Don't get me wrong. Like I think it's something I just don't like it. I think this should not be esports, right? Um, but I understand why people do it, and they want to see only their team win, which to me it makes sense, right? But for me, when I stepped on stage and people started booing, obviously there's some pictures of it where I was like, oh, I can't hear you guys, right? Like, and I think for me, it was funny, and I would like to say I don't get affected by it, right? I think me putting it in a better sentence basically is I think I get affected by it much less than the average player. Um, I think I think if you're like a new player, don't get to play on a big stage much, after your first your first event you get booed, I think it can really hit you. And I've been too long in the scene that these kind of things will affect me negatively, I would say. Obviously,
Yeah.
you will think about it and stuff like this. I do have to say the Spanish crowd was very kind to us.
I mean, they
So
were kind because you guys they respect the play as well. You know, like there's different levels to it. I've been fortunate enough to have traveled a lot with you and many of the other teams. The different fan bases and how they are both respectful and disrespectful are different. There's different energies. There's different flavor to it. Sometimes you can be booed and it's fun. Sometimes you can be booed and it's like, fuck, don't like where's security? You know, like there's different levels to it. Um, what do you make of how the regional rivalries are going to play out when we look ahead to like the Esports Nations Cup? I know there's a lot of talk about that at the moment. I also know that I'm a big fan of EMEA Masters, and I love the idea of ideally regional or country-based tournaments. So, what can that tournament do in terms of like developing fan bases and seeing very different teams from a European player base?
I mean, firstly, I want to say I think this is something that many players have wished for in their lives to see this happening. So I do think it's great that it is happening. And I think yeah, I mean, I think it's very cool. I think it's very cool to be able to watch countries play instead of just teams, and it's gonna, as you said, it's gonna make teams look very different. You're gonna see much different players playing together that you normally would never have the chance to 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 do so. Or maybe in 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 the national leagues, in the lower national leagues, where you kind of forced to have like five of the same nation, right? And I think this is something very cool. It's something incredible. I love that I get to play or I have the chance to get to play in such a tournament.
One of the things that I did coming into this interview was I asked on the G2 Discord if anybody had some questions that they would like me to pass on. And I picked up one of them. This comes from Thunder Bellin. What is the reason that you chose to play for Turkey?
um, I mean, it is. I have a reason. I don't think I have to justify myself for choosing the country that I want to play for, but I can tell you guys my reasoning is very simple. I started my like big career in Turkey. I know I've lived my whole life in Germany, and I get why people think I should have chosen Germany. But for me, I my parents both are Turkish. I got raised in a Turkish way. So for me, it would be unfair, I would say, to because I feel like the Turkish community has accepted me for who I am from the very beginning, and I want that's a way I want to give back, and I don't feel any regrets from this. That doesn't mean that
Yeah.
I don't think playing for Germany is any less justified, and I don't want to
I
have
I want to
a bad
say,
bond between the German people, right? Like obviously,
yeah.
I will never talk bad about them as well, right? Like obviously, why would
Can,
I? I don't have
can
anything
I tell
bad
you
to say.
something? I think it comes from like sadness, like, oh my God, what we want you, like the Germans. And I I can relate so well with you. I was born in South Africa, but both of my parents were British. My dad's also Irish. So I technically have an Irish passport, a British passport, and a South African passport. And even though I feel like I'm South African, I was raised on British television, British food, British sense of humor, British comedy. I learned the British laws. I went to the UK. So I'm more British than I am South African, but it's not sexy to be British. So I don't say that I am. So for me, but what I will say is I got brought up in a way that I can understand and I can speak from a place of confidence on like those three respective cultures. Like I know a lot about the history between Ireland and Northern Ireland. I love British. What what are the different things that you can what are the different elements of communities that you think about the fact that you've played for Turkey, played in Germany, played in the US, your dual nationality yourself, you've got this amazing perspective that a lot of other people don't. Does it make it harder? Does it make it more exciting? Does it make it more enjoyable when you look to these national tournaments?
I mean, it makes it uh, like it makes it very exciting for me. I think the decision was not easy for me either, right? Like I had to really do a lot of thinking of what I should do because I feel like there were a lot of expectations, like from the outside, and also from like just inside, like internally. So for me, I just went what I felt was right, and I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be hard for most people to understand why and how I came to this decision because many people are not raised in two different cultures or multiple cultures,
Yeah.
as is you as well, for example. But I just hope people will understand eventually. I mean, or like respect my decision is a better way to put it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
When I stop and think about it, I think Turkey might have a stronger team as well. That is a topic for another day, and I'm not here to follow that thread. What I do want to do is now let's transition to some international tournaments. We're recording this obviously after the regular season, before playoffs. And the expectations are always high for G2. And let's just assume that you guys are going to go to MSI. Who is the second team that's going to make the run in playoffs and why?
Um, I think I would love Casey to make it, just because I think they bring a lot of fans with them everywhere they go, right? Um, I as we were talking about earlier, I find it really hard to believe that Vitality will make it, just because I think they will struggle, and
They peak too early.
I think it's gonna be up to Mad or Koi. No, so Mad Koi, I guess, or Casey. And I think Casey has the upper hand. I think they are a bit stronger team. They're a bit more consistent. I think that is for me is the most realistic answer.
Okay. I look. I think it's there. I have a soft spot for Navi. I don't think they're going to upset any of the apple carts, but I'm excited to see what they can do. Also, I'm a huge fan of the Counter Strike team, so we'll see if there's any surprises or any shocks. Um, with the assumption that KC and G2 go to MSI, Broken Blade. When I looked at your international track record, after the high highs of 6-0ing the LCK, I remembered that you also went 0-6 with TSM at the group stage many years ago. We talked a little bit about being around the block a little bit. How does it feel when you stop, and I ask you right now, think back to the last 10 years of your professional career, think to the different teams, the different regions. How do you feel when you think back and you look back at everywhere you've gone and the success that you found?
So, um, well, I have to say, like, first when I started playing internationally, I was a much different player. And with every year passing, I felt like that, I was reaching the international players every time, like a little bit. I was always a little bit closer, a little bit closer, a little bit closer, and then finally I was able to like grab them. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think that over the years I had the chance, uh, I had the privilege to be able to play for a lot of these tournaments. And I don't think if I wouldn't have the chance to play this many international tournaments, I don't think I would be able to play this well against like the best top players in the world, right? Like I obviously um, think that the last couple of years internationally, I think I've shown a pretty solid performance most of the time. And I remember when I was starting in G2, no, not in G2, in TSM, that people were criticizing my international performances, which was justified. I was not performing very well, um, but I think that that has stopped. I would like to say around 2023. That started with the Sec and Rek'Sai meta when I was playing those champions a lot on top lane. I was pulling a lot of bans and stuff like this. So
I love seeing your smile, by the way. You could just, it bleeds through the camera how happy you are when you look back. Something that I've loved watching you in particular, every single time things don't go the way you want it to, or you maybe don't live up to a level of performance that you or the team feels, you always bounce back. I can't think of a single European player that has consistently shut the haters up or the doubters across as many years and as many tournaments. Where do you get that motivation and that drive from to consistently develop, new abilities, new champions, and new playstyles?
I mean, firstly, I feel like it happens every year, like again, like I think people just get bored of seeing the same person so many times, unless maybe you're Caps. Everyone loves Caps. Uh,
Don't be
and for
jealous.
me, no, no, no. Like he for sure deserves everything he has. For me, as you said, like I need to find a motivation. This is not easy for me as well. Like sometimes I'm in the gutter, like I'm really down, and like I need to find this motivation. And like I know that like a random Andy doesn't have to tell me that I'm playing bad. If I'm playing bad, I will know it. Obviously, for me, um, as you said, like I do always want to see inspiration in champions. Like there's a reason these champions exist in League of Legends, and I will make use of it if I think it's good. And it's not like I'm like cheesing, or like everyone has the
Yeah.
same champions they can play. Like I really dislike when someone is saying, oh, he's just cheese picking. Like a lot of people were saying, oh, Broken Blade can only cheese pick against international top laners, or like not even in international stage. Like I like to counter pick my opponent with stuff that is I think the best at this situation, right? That's why sometimes also you can like get a lot of value in the draft phase. And for me, I will put the hours and effort in making this happen, right? And actually, like if you look at my career and like what kind of champions I'm playing, actually this year I'm tending more towards what is the norm, and
Yeah.
still like a little bit of my pocket picks, right? Like I did make the Shen kind of big, not too much. Like people started playing it because of me. Um, I'm still trying to get people to play Kled more. I think this champ is bonkers, but
Yeah.
I guess I'll
Just
be
keep it for
collecting the
you,
wins.
dude. Just keep it for you. Just keep it for you. I
Yeah.
will say, I'm gonna stay holding on to hope that I'll see a better Lee Sin than we did in Versus. I'm not letting you off the hook for that one. I know you can. I
Bro,
believe in you.
I've had a phenomenal laning phase until I died. I can tell you this
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, you had them until, I had them for the first half, I'm not gonna lie. Okay,
Exactly.
on this topic, because we've done quite a lot of like reflection, I have another question from Discord. This comes from Penta, the Church of J-Knap. Um, what is your favorite highlight of your career?
Ooh, I have I
Give
have
me a
a lot
couple.
of I will say my favorite highlight. I would say in America was obviously winning for the first time, like a title. That was my first title. Um, that was 2020 summer. I think another one is my one and only pentakill against G2. I think that one was really cool. Um, that one was really cool, not because of the pentakill, but because we're playing against G2 in a best of five, and I started playing Darius, and Wundo was starting to make like fun of me apparently. Like I think he was tweeting on Twitter or something, and then by the end of the series, I made him ban it, and I got a pentakill. So that felt really good, Like it felt like you had to earn your respect, and I did earn it.
Yeah.
And then I think, yeah, I mean, like I always like to say the worlds, but it's not true. Like some of the worlds were not as memorable. Um, I will say the first time I won with G2, like the Flacket era was very incredible. Obviously, I'm not gonna discredit any of my other teammates that I won with. I think all of them were great. I think the Flacket one was really great because I love Flacket. I think he's an incredible human being, and I think he brought a lot of joy in my everyday life, which I really, really respect as a teammate and as a friend. Also with Jankos, the energy we've had winning was really cool.
I mean, listen, Yankos and energy. I don't think there's many human beings on this planet, let alone pro players, that have the energy he does. I won't keep you for too much longer, Broken Blade. I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna ask you for a little bit more of a challenging question to end this conversation. I can't stop thinking about who is the G2 esports top laner. There's only two names. It has to be Wonder or Broken Blades. Who is the G2 top laner and why?
I mean, I will obviously say me because I believe that I've shown a lot of good stuff for G2. I mean, I think I can see why people would say Wunder. He has achieved his peak was higher for sure. Like I never made Worlds Finals. So for me, and I didn't win MSI. Um, I'm getting close though, and I can feel this. And obviously, for me to beat it, I have to beat that previous record of his. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just the two different generations, right? Of
Yeah.
I think I think saying the GT top laner is a bit unfair for both
Of
him and
course it is.
me.
That's why it's a hard question. Yes.
I don't wanna I don't wanna discredit Wonder and what he did for G2, and the same goes for me. If I had to pick somebody, I'm gonna pick me over him, but I will put us both there for sure.
I love that question. I love that answer. And for anybody who's in chat, who is yours and why? Because it's a personal thing. I also will say this: it is unfair because I think the dynamic is different. When I think of Wunder in the top lane, I think of Perks in the mid lane, and I think of Perks being the, frankly, leader figure, the voice, the captain. When I think of Broken Blade in the top lane, and I think of Caps in the middle lane, I think of you as being the leader, the father figure, the voice of reason. There's differences to it, There's different factors.
Yeah, exactly.
Broken Blade, it is always such a pleasure chatting. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you've had a long day of scrims. Just as we say goodbye, do you want to give a shout out to the G2 Army, to the people who are watching HopEUm, because this will be airing 2 weeks in the future after the first round of playoffs.
Yes, obviously, big shout out to whoever is watching right now, legends. Hopefully by now we will have a lot of dubs and not only in LEC but also EWC. Gotta need a lot of wins. The schedule's looking tight, so hopefully everyone is supporting us. And I can proudly look at this with a victory in my
That
in my
brings me
pocket.
joy.
Yeah.
That brings me joy. Seriously, thank you so much. Please go enjoy whatever anime or manga you're watching. And best of
Yeah.
luck. Best of luck. We'll be watching from home for all the games.
Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Ciao. A super fun conversation and frankly so accurate from Broken Blade on the predictions, on the results and everything as well. I'm going to start this one off by quickly saying hello to Skyaart, who's going to be joining us for the rest of the conversation. We're going to be waiting a little bit before Caps comes in. Skyaart, my man, how are you doing?
Man, I'm phenomenal. I mean, what a playoff. It was a wonderful series. I enjoyed so much. I love when the game are so close because it's super intense, until the last seconds. You never know.
And of course, I'm not sure how much of that last interview you listened to. Were you able to catch some of the conversation with Broken Blade? Just roughly how much?
Sure, I did.
Oh, that is awesome. Who is your G2 top laner? When you think of the team, is it Wonder or BB?
For me, I think it's BB because now it's, I think, a new hope against Korean teams that are higher than ever. I think LCK are close to the maximum they can reach, not so far, and I think Europe is catching up, maybe since a long time. I mean, I don't think for 4 years we were catching up. So I think now there is more room, and I think Fearless Draft as well is nice because basically these guys are cookers. They cook the food for you, and they will bring new ideas for the tournament, and maybe they will not adapt quick enough. And
that's what I'm hoping for. I like that. Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for. Look, I mentioned it already, and you know as well. Probably 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes Caps will join us. So we'll talk about maybe Koi and KC in more depth with him. But let's focus on MSI. I know you watch a lot of LCK. I know you're almost my LCK fanboy, Skyaart.
I am a fanboy, bro.
Let's talk about this then, because I also really trust your analysis and understanding of the game. To me, G2 are still making sloppy mistakes. To me, G2 are still the reason that any series goes more than 3 games. I don't want to be too disrespectful to Koi, because Koi this weekend looked better than I've seen them against G2 in a while. But for the most part, it feels to me like it's all on G2, whether they win or lose. So if that assumption is even true, tell me if you think that's right or not, how the hell is this G2, even if they cook in draft, going to stand up to the Chinese or the Koreans at MSI?
To be honest, does mistakes as well. And I think the mistakes of G2 are fixable. To me, we will talk about it later, but I think KC has harder problems than G2 because the problem of KC is they don't play the map well enough, when the mistakes of G2 is sometimes, I don't know, like Broken Blade, he's like trying to 1v5 on the Nashor. It's gonna be a quick fist, and I think with the pressure of the Worlds or MSI, it will probably be like 200% focus. So I believe that these mistakes can be fixed way easier than try to make a team that doesn't play well enough the map play better. So I think it's manageable.
I mean, if it is manageable, the chaos of the LPL teams, it's something that's undone. G2, I know you and I don't watch the most LPL, but I did have the pleasure of co-streaming the LPL qualifiers. So I got to see Weibo, Billy, JDG, Anyone's Legend. The play styles could not be further apart. Like these are 4 teams that were in the Ascend group of LPL. For those that don't know, it's just the highest ranked teams. G2, in my mind, has always had a kryptonite of the LPL teams because some of them can play macro, some of them can play lane, some of them are team fight all the time, some of them are slow as hell. Like LPL is so much more diverse than it used to be, and I actually think it's harder for G2 to decode China than it is to decode South Korea, because I think there's a more strict playbook from what I see from LCK. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think LCK is more a stable play style, and they play much closer every team to each other. But I believe that it's like a paper scissors, and I think actually G2 could have won against BLG. BLG was obviously a great team, but I think G2 played too much LPL play style against LPL, and I think it's too hard because they are fucking good at it. I mean, they are well trained. So I believe G2 has a very high chance because even for the pressure, I think the pressure will be against the opposing team. When you play against an outside teams, don't you feel the stress, Quickshot? You will be under pressure. I mean, imagine China pressure of being 0-1 against G2. It's gonna be stressful for them.
Not only that, think about the pressure that KC feel when they play G2. They haven't won a best of series against them for a year and a half. I think they finally just took one game. G2 has KC's number. There's no doubt at all. G2 against Koi was awesome, but what are your concerns when you think about G2? Like, did you look at this weekend and go, oh, I'm proud of the boys? Or did you look at this weekend and go, oh, we might not win the finals?
No, I'm very proud, actually. I think every single game, G2 dictated the game. Sorry for English, but I think every single game, G2 had the game under control. Every time, it's G2 that make a play. Sometimes the play is bad. I mean, we all seen some Talia moves, but it's us that create the game. And sometimes we make mistake. But I think it's better like that than just be passive and be like fanatic. And I can just try to sleep and come back in 20 minutes. So yeah, I believe it's
I
good.
Agree with that. I like the fact that we see different styles. You know, you talked about it a little bit as well. The more feelers we see from G2, the more excited I am at their drafting. Like, we just heard from Broken Blade. He was talking about top lane picks. He likes to get counter pick. That's obvious for any top laner. I am a fan that he talked about Kled 2 weeks ago, and one of the best games that he played yesterday was on Kled. It was phenomenal. I also like the fact that in the post-game interview yesterday, Broken Blade was 100% honest, and he just said, look, going into draft, all we wanted to do was get a Soraka silence into Malphite knockup and Jinx reset. He's like, that's all I wanted. They were down 10,000 gold. They found it once in 40 minutes, and they won game 5. On one hand, I'm happy. I just don't think against Korean and Chinese teams, they're going to be able to get that one magic opportunity to come back. I think the game will be closed out sooner.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we were a bit too behind, but what a play from Labrov and what a call from Labrov as well. To be honest, I didn't understood that it was for the Malphite. I'm not a Malphite fan.
Me too. I hate it.
If you are a bit behind, you are pretty invisible because you won't tank enough. You will do enough space, and but yeah, actually it worked well, and Ansama was clearly on fire. When he gets the reset. It's hard.
Oh, I loved it. I know, I'm pretty confident that Caps is actually listening to this right now. Just before we do bring him in, I want to make it clear to everybody listening at home, I don't like a player like Broken Blade and a champion like Malphite because he's better than that champion. However, because I'm glad that you heard the interview. It's something that I maybe you don't listen to on the French stream, but yeah, his interview is fantastic. Let's say hello to Caps. I think he is ready. We can welcome him in, our first finalist. 11th consecutive back to episode. Caps, how are you feeling today, my friend?
I'm good. I'm happy with the win yesterday. Was a tough night, but happy with the win.
When you think about that final game, I'm not sure if you just heard, but Broken Blade in his interview, I know you were sitting on the couch. He talked about how you just wanted to get that one combo. Does that make you happy that you got the combo, or does it make you sad that you were down so much and without that combo you would have lost the game?
Definitely it makes me happy. I think it was a tough combo to pull up, and I'm so proud of both BB and especially Labrov to find the silence. I think it ended up clutching out the fight. So yeah, it's nice.
Just Just quickly so you know, Caps, throughout the course of the conversation, our producer will probably put your camera full screen. So don't get a jump scare. It's for our viewers at home. Just feel free to talk to the camera, and our fans who are watching at home will know. Okay, let's start with the weekend. Let's start with yesterday's series because it was awesome. Skyaart, if you have any questions to follow up, feel free.
Sure.
But 5 games against Koi. I got to speak to Broken Blade 2 weeks ago. He made it quite clear that he thought Koi and KC were going to be the 2 potential, threats, or the 2 teams that'll make it to finals. Did either of the teams, maybe specifically Koi, play better than you expected?
I mean, I think both teams played better in like some ways than we expected for sure. I think our series against KC, like it ended up 3-1, and I think all the early games were very, very good for us, but they managed to catch us off guard like many times, and they like made a very good comeback game 1 and even game 3 where they almost won as well. They made a lot of comebacks, so they definitely made us struggle for it, even though we got so far ahead in those games. And now against Koi, I mean, they obviously surprised us big time, right? I think they played an excellent series, and we had our backs very much against the wall, especially in game 5. So I'm just happy we ended up winning it.
Skyaart, what was your take when you were watching through the games? I know we talked a little bit about draft. It's not often we get to have Cap sitting here, but what was your opinion?
I mean, it was an amazing series. At one point, I thought maybe the game was pretty much over when BB was alive alone. It was tough, and I didn't understood actually the Soraka Malphite combo until I saw the Azier got smelt in a single move. I was happy about Silas with Alistair, but as you were very behind it, you had to make plays all the game, which was a bit tough. Yeah.
Can I ask about that, Silas? Because that comeback, I was watching on my phone and I had something else on. As soon as you defended the Nexus, I turned everything off and I said, okay, this is going full screen TV. I'm like, my stomach told me you were going to win. Did you believe it? Did you think it could still happen? Down, your base under pressure? Like, what was going through your mind?
I mean, at the time, I think outcomes were definitely like a bit sad. I think some of us thought that it was over, but I mean, for me, I think I was like, I can probably defend this or something like this. Like I was spawning soon. I mean, we guess we kind of got lucky with like the wave spawning and stuff. So it's like maybe if they had been a bit faster at actually pushing in the wave, it would have been a different story. I think when Asset TP'd as well, I was also like, oh, actually now it's looking a bit scary. But they were all like very low, so I definitely felt like I had a good shot at defending it. And like the thing about like this game and this comp overall is like we had a very fat Jinx, right? And all that gold, or like a lot of the gold was on the Asia. So if we just find the Malphite ult on him, we find the Na ult on him, if I get Asia ult on him as well, like any of these kind of things, we'll probably win the fight. And fortunately, that's what ended up happening like a few times there.
Do you ever actually like give up in a game? Like, do you ever look in and go, just forfeit, go next?
No, I mean, of course not. I think I've played like so many years now that I've both won and lost so many games that should be unwinnable or unlosable. That definitely every game is throwable. Some would look at like our game 2 and be like, oh, this looks very winning, but yeah, in some ways.
Before I get Caps to answer this question, Skyaart, why is it that KC can't really put up a fight against G2? What's your opinion?
I think actually G2, you guys are amazing at the map. You are, for me, way ahead than any other teams. Basically, when you are behind, it's because maybe like Kesa was very tough to manage. If she gets ahead in Koi game, I think with Leona, it's a very hard spot for Ansama. But I think that you guys are creating like 70% of the move in the map. So you are, for me, way better than the other teams managing the side lane, etc. You are so good at it with BB. And I think Casey is less good at the map. They are good at defending. And I think in the meta, actually, it's not super easy to finish with the first Nashor. I think it's very tough. And the game goes a bit long. And the longer it is, the more something can happen, just like the Jinx. So you have to be focused until the end. Is it exhausting, Caps, playing these games? And I mean, 35 minutes games is a lot of focus in the game. Do you feel a bit exhausted after a BO5 like this? Or is it okay?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Yeah, I think it depends on like the series, but I think usually when it goes to 5 games, definitely feel exhausted after it. It's like a lot of it's like a lot of emotion, a lot of stress, a lot of like focus you've spent as well throughout all the games. And yeah, it's definitely you get like a bit of a crash after, right? I mean, of course, you're also super happy that well, if we win it, we were super happy. If you're sad, if you lose it, you'll be a bit more sad. But the crash comes like right after.
You know what I loved so much? After that Game 5 win, the camera immediately cuts to Broken Blade and Skymart, and the two of them just jumped up. Then obviously the rest of you come in. Ramar comes running from the back. It was amazing to watch. You got 5 games there. That's really draining and tiring. On the Saturday, you was a 3-1 against KC. The week before, it was a 3-0 against KC. The week before, it was a 2-0 against Caps. Why do you guys seem to just smash them so much from your perspective?
Mid-diff.
I just think we're a very strong team, right? We have like some very strong players, and I think when we are like understand the patch, when we understand, and when we also get like getting on the same page, I think we just play very, very good League of Legends. I think especially like a bit of the early season for us, like the summer split, like coming back, just like trying to figure out like where, like how did the patches change, and also making sure that we are not like griefing each other. I think we were like not really on the same page on a lot of things, and I think it's definitely getting better. I still think we have a lot of things to improve on, which is great, right? Because we have so much, like we can do so much better. And honestly, I expect us to have a much stronger performance in the final as well.
A much stronger performance, going to be even an easier,
Can't
quicker
wait.
win. Okay, tell me then. We talked about Casey, we talked about Koi, Broken Blade talked about them as well. Why does Vitality suck, Caps?
Yeah, I mean, good question. I think, I mean, they didn't play for a while, so maybe that's their excuse, right? They kind of had like a bit of a break there, so maybe that's the thing to go for. I do think they were like a little bit overhyped, right? Because they obviously finished 8-1, and like looking at the games, I still expected KC and Koi to be like the main contenders for us, even though they end up finishing first. So, but I mean, I think they're still a strong team, and I would be surprised if they beat KC or Koi, but it would not be like the most unthinkable thing to ever happen. I think they are still like a somewhat new team, and they are just like lagging in some areas, I guess.
I think I could see Vitality taking down KC. I don't see them having a chance against Koi. Like I can see KC having more struggle, but I mean, Skyaart, we watched the games as well. We didn't see it, but like, what's your take on Vitality? And like, do they even have a chance to make it to like the lower bracket final?
Vitality, it's an ERL team, or at least, no, I mean, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. Actually, they play well during regular season, but I think their playstyle get countered now a bit. I mean, Nako can't be like super red anymore, and I think I don't feel personally that it's a top meta, and I think it went very badly. They didn't propose many stuff. They were a bit tilted also in the game, maybe, and the series was a bit bad because they had a scaling composition and they fight with many gold behind. Just like KC in game 2. I think it was game 2. Or I think it was game 2 on KC fighting a lot against you guys when they were really behind already, and the game was super quick. I'm not sure it was game 2, but it was a tough situation, and I think Vitality is just. I think they didn't improve, just like all of the teams, and now we see the gap is pretty huge.
There's one of the things that, like, to my eyes, it almost looks like the team peaked too early. It's something that I've seen many times before. Teams that end up doing really, really well in the group stage, really, really well in the build up. But then once you get to playoffs, you haven't been tested properly. The other powerful teams haven't really ramped up. Like Koi during the regular season looked like a shadow of the Koi we saw yesterday. Like if you turn nameplates off, I would have said they're different teams, right? Let's stick with Vitality because Caps, how many of the broadcast narratives make it to the team? Things like who's the greatest player this year? Who's the strongest player? The MVP of the spring split. Things like that. How much of it make it team side for you?
I'm not sure. I think probably most of it. Like we definitely had like I heard like a lot of talks about like, oh, like Nako is doing super well and Jojo Pune is doing super well. So I think these kind of narratives definitely like things we're talking about as well in the team,
For me, it's you and Skymon. But okay. Quickshot. Quickshot, you're
apparently-
back.
Apparently, my Google Chrome died. I don't know where we stopped. I'll bring this back up. Apologies about that to everybody watching at home. I don't know. Did I interrupt anything that you guys were talking about? Okay, great.
No, he's talking about HopEUm, but I can say for you, Caps, I think HopEUm, when you played against him, he couldn't pick you 2 times, and I think he lost the lane every single time. Maybe not yesterday. Yesterday, I mean, for me, the Rice pick was a good angle, but you went for Talia, which was tough, but except that you melt him, and it was the mid lane. The move on your LeBlanc was crazy. LeBlanc Galio was amazing matchup. I think a lot of players have destroyed their lane in solo queue. I think many players will first time LeBlanc because of you and will lose the game alone.
Yeah, thanks for that.
It won't
Thanks for
happen
that,
the
Cap.
same. Yeah, thank you
Thank you, and I'm sorry.
Okay, I will say this. Okay, the question I was building up to is that Nako gets announced Spring Split MVP, then gets crushed. Okay, the LEC All Pro teams 1, 2, and 3, G2. Like, where the f are you guys? How does that feel, considering how the Spring Split played out and your performance in this first round of playoffs?
I mean, definitely feels good to win, right? I think, but at the end of the day, we still have like the most important match ahead of us. So I don't think we want to like get too ahead of ourselves. I think we've made it to the final before and lost, right? Like just last year. So I think we definitely just need to step it up because, as I mentioned before, like this was a very close series, and we have some very obvious things we need to improve on. So it would be like foolish to not just work hard on making sure that those things are fixed for the coming match.
Caps, does it
What do you think about? What do you think about BB trying to 1v5 at Nashor? On the move, I think he was a bit drunk because the move was a bit weird. Against KC, he was very courageous, I would say.
That's BB, always courageous.
Happens. Yeah.
What is the comms?
I have one question actually for you. Sorry, Quickshot. What would be if you can give one advice to yourself back in 2019, what would, after maybe the final and stuff, what would be the advice you would give you to yourself that you have learned with your adventure since this time?
I mean, first of all, it's not pick pack mid, I guess. That would probably be the first advice.
What advice?
Don't pick pike mid.
I avoid that one. But aside from that, I think definitely just working hard on like concepts and team concepts, because I think it's something that is super important, especially when you go to like the playoffs and when you go to the international tournaments and stuff. And it's something we're working like way hard on now, I think, like week to week, even though it might like again cut some of our performances, like especially in the regular season, because we're trying things that we are maybe not like that great at, or we're maybe not doing like all of our strengths. It's like teaching us a lot of things, and we get to experiment a lot more, and just really like doing my best to share all like the knowledge I have with my teammates and like starting like conversations with them, because that's like the only way we're gonna get better, right? It's just like having these talks about the game like back and forth, right?
Can I jump in on this, because I love that question, Skyaart. And looking back at the career, because you can even go 2018 technically, because it was 2 back-to-backs in terms of some advice that we could give younger Caps. Do you feel like the greatest Western player that's played League of Legends?
I mean, I definitely feel like I have like the best results, I guess, of like any Western player. But it also just feels weird for me, because like time just flies. You know, it feels like just yesterday that I started playing League. And for me, like I will always like remember growing up when I first started like climbing a lot, like in season 3 and 4, getting to Challenger. I started watching like EULCS back then, and like all the streamers, and like watching like XPK, Björksen, all these players. It feels weird to now have played like even like it's longer than a lot of them, because it just feels like just yesterday that I started watching them.
I mean, can I get one more on this one? How different would Europe look like if you weren't dumpstering every single mid laner? Because it feels like you have warped the entire scene. Is that something that you reflect on? That's like, hey, like I'm the guy people have to deal with.
I mean, good question. I think I guess Perks would probably have stayed mid lane, so maybe he would be dumpstering some people instead.
Skyaart, what do you think? How different would the scene look like if Caps was not there?
Actually, I don't know if Caps is still counting his finals number or is the finals is counting how many caps because I mean, if G2 is the king of Europe, I think you are the crown. For real, you got inspired by XPK, Faker, etc. by that time, but you also inspired many European players because actually you have always been, and you are still now much more than ever, for me at least, the hope of Europe. I think Korea was for me super high now and pretty much unreachable for a fanboy of Korea I am. But you guys improved so much, and it's so cool to watch, and it brings joy. I mean, I think to all European fans. So thank you for that, and I can say it for you. You are the GOAT of Europe by far. You are the Faker basically of Europe. So.
I love this. I think of the West, and also I will say this as well, Caps. I've had the pleasure of watching your work and watch your interviews. I understand it can be very uncomfortable with this amount of praise. I really do, and I've seen that.
Yeah.
However,
Sorry.
it is also a fact. No, please, this is not calling you out, Skyaart. I just want to acknowledge. But what I do want to do is, it's a little bit rare to have an opportunity like this to go a little bit deep. So, where does your motivation come from? Like you talk about League of Legends like it's 2010 and this game's brand new, and you still talk about it with a childlike wonder. Where does that motivation and focus come from?
I love it.
I mean, I think it definitely started from just like watching Faker win his first Worlds trophy. I think back then I was like gold or something, and I really was like, I want to be standing on that stage one day. I want to be winning as well, and I want to be the best player in the world. And I mean, since then I've been grinding. I think nowadays I've got to experience so many just great experiences. I think when I first came to like Dark Passage and TCL, and I got to play in front of like a huge stadium of like 10,000 people, it was like a game changer, because playing like solo queue and then going to scrim is one thing, and then going from scrim to stage is another thing. But when you really play like in a stadium, and every time there's a play, you just hear like the crowd go crazy and everyone is cheering. It's like it changes how the game gets played, and it changes how the game feels, and it's it's just a great feeling, and it feels awesome, and I'm always chasing that, and I want to do the big plays on the big stages and keep going as far as I can in these moments.
How long can you keep it up? This is your 11th consecutive final, I believe, 16th or 17th in total. How many more years of Caps do you possibly have?
I don't have enough fingers to
set
back to back.
I think the thing about esports is that it's like it changes so fast. Like for me, I've always just fought like 1 year at a time. And obviously I've actually ended up being on G2 now for a very long time. So that like when I initially joined G2, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be here, and then I'm gonna be in a different team. But honestly, it's been very nice, and I've been very happy being here on G2. But still things have changed, right? Like the players on my team, the people within like the organization as well, like where we live, everyone we are competing against as well. Like everything is changing, and for me, as long as I have the motivation, I would love to keep competing, and as long as I can like keep up as well. If I ever feel like I don't have the drive, if I ever feel like, oh, I don't think we can actually like win Worlds and become the best team, then I will just quit, because I feel like everything else has been done. I've definitely been around, but I really do believe in everyone on my team right now, and I do think we have the possibility to win Worlds. Like it will definitely be an uphill battle, and we need to work very, very hard if we want to be able to do it. But I see everyone around me, and everyone is grinding. Everyone is like putting in the energy, and I believe in us.
Give me a second here, Skyaart. What do they need to do to win Worlds?
Actually, I was it was pretty close to this question. I think everyone has the same dream. Everyone want to be the best players. Everyone wants to win Worlds. But what makes the difference is the path and the system that you are doing it. You said you are working a lot on the macro game and talking to each other to learn about the game. On your daily basis or weekly basis, you are probably a super hard worker. I don't doubt that. Did you also inspire the teammates to maybe work more intensely? Because basically we are, I believe that we are the consequence of our work and sacrifice, because you can't do everything. So did you inspire them by doing this? Did you get inspired also by other people? And what can you change to go even higher?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think I think I've always been like a big grinder for sure, and I think also just like playing with players like Reckless and seeing like him like just grind it out, it definitely motivated me as well. And I think now on G2, I mean, honestly, we definitely grind a lot as well, and I think something we've like taking his way is that sometimes just like spamming mindlessly is like not the best option. Like we also make sure to do a lot of like VOD reviews, make sure to, as I mentioned before, like talk about the game. We also have like played like board games and stuff, and just like make sure we build a bit of like camaraderie and like make sure our team bond is strong, because especially when you go like these later series like game 4, game 5, it's not necessarily like the highest level of League of Legends, because everyone is like so mentally strained. Everyone is like there's so much like metagaming going on as well, because you're adapting to your opponents and making sure that we can like trust each other and making sure that we have seen each other under stress, under like just having like good read on each other is honestly just like the most important. So I think that's something that I've also learned to just like build a better bond with my teammates and make sure that we really have this like trust between us.
Will G2
do you make the bound
esports
also
win
in the
worlds?
game? Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Ooh,
that was
too much.
Your turn,
I want to follow here. I want to follow here. Skyaart. Caps. Will G2 esports ever win worlds?
Yes.
How?
Yeah, I think so.
How will you do it? How? Because I saw how close we got to first stand, and then it crumbled in finals.
Yeah, I mean, I think we like the thing is, it will just be a boring answer, right? Because it's just a lot of like the fundamentals of the game are the same, right? Like a lot of the things that we just keep working on, that, or maybe one game we make a mistake on it, or maybe one game we are not fully understanding what they're doing, but we just need to understand it better. We just need to do it faster, especially when they play against the LPL teams. They play very fast and we don't have a lot of time to think. We need to just be sharp on like what, like instinctively, like we need to just know the answer to like their plays. And then it also, of course, a lot of it also comes down to like the patch itself. Like, are there certain picks we can pull off? I think we had some like very clutch drafts at like first stand as well, right? We had the Kog'Maw Shen and we've got some advantages there. And then also just like level 1, like having solid like cheese plans, like all these kind of things can be important too. Like we had some very good level 1s as well at first stand, and we also got punished by BLG in a few of the games as well in the early game. And like this can snowball the game very fast. So like we just need to be sharp on all these things. And if it's like League is a game where there's infinite different things you can like work on, and that's kind of what's awesome about it. There's so many things we can get better at. But hopefully the things that we pick and hopefully the things that we choose will be like enough. And then of course having a good performance on the day to get us over the finish line and like outperform our opponents.
I love it. Basically, so you can adapt the better way in a second during the games, and I love it. We will cheer for you for sure.
Of course. I wanted to change the topic a tiny bit because something's been not bugging me. Something's been on my mind a little bit. Caps, you were probably one of the most wanted players in the LEC and NALCS. So why have you stuck with G2 for so long?
I mean, good question. I think I've just been happy here, right? Like I think I've had a lot of very good years. I think we've had some tough years as well, for sure. But it feels like all of my teammates throughout the years, and also the organization itself, like the people behind the scene, everyone is really putting in the work to make it better, right? And sometimes it's been tough, right? I think especially saying goodbye to like some of my former teammates was a very tough situation. Sometimes it can be difficult to have like new players join. But the new players have also been great, and everyone who's honestly like all the players who have been here throughout the years, like we've been very, very lucky with the people we got to work with. And it's the same with the people behind the scenes. Like people are just working hard to get results, make it the best possible ever. I hear like some horror stories from like some of the other teams, and and I don't have the same to share, you know.
Caps, can I do one follow up on that? Can you maybe explain to some of us, myself included, just especially in the earlier years, how many teams tried to steal you away with giant contracts or knocking on your door saying, come fly to NA, maybe Korea? Like how many times have you had to say no to other teams? You don't have to be specific, but like just help me understand.
I mean, I only had one off season basically. I mean, of course, when I initially joined Fnatic, but after my contract ran out with Fnatic, I definitely talked with a lot of different teams because it was also like the start of franchising. So many new teams joined, and most contracts were like, I guess, running out as well around this time. It was like, yeah, it was very chaotic, quite stressful as well. But I ended up with G2. I think it was the best project, right? Like, of course, it was tough, like leaving Fnatic as well, right? Like it was a tough decision. My parents were very, very sad when I left. I would say almost in tears, you know, because it definitely felt like a bit of a family, and like joining G2, which is like the rival.
They are
and also
happy
had, like,
now when they see the game of Fnatic.
Yeah, they are happy now. Yeah, they are happy now. But also G2 has like had the whole like villain thing going on as well. So it seemed a bit scary. And I mean, just talking with all the teams, like there were obviously like a lot of strong teams. But back then, I think I think getting to play with Jankos and of course Perks going 80k was also a bit of a funny thing to happen. So it was exciting.
Skyaart, do you have a question to follow up here? If not, I can jump on.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay, so then let's talk about this. You talked about Fnatic, Skyaart addressing the challenges that the team is facing. Let's talk about KC and Koi. I want to step out, look international again, look towards MSI. We know you're going. I probably think Koi is going to be one of the stronger teams. But what do we need to see from Koi or KC to develop to first of all qualify and then do well at an international level, Caps?
I mean, I think KC definitely needs to work on like their consistency, especially in the early game. I feel like, at least especially like in our matches against them, I think we just got way too far ahead. Like they need to find a way to just, if they're going to lose early game, they need to like stabilize the game a bit, like not just like keep dropping kills on kills and like all the towers as well. I think
actually
like,
they were consistent against you. They were consistent against you. not the good way, but
yeah, fair enough. I mean I think they had the one game where they got a like, little bit ahead of us for sure. But overall, I think that's like the main thing for them, and for Koi, yeah, I'm not sure like if I was Koi, where I would be working on, because they have already improved a lot, but they also kind of put themselves in a bit of a hole, I would say, because it feels like they have a very like particular playstyle right now. We were definitely caught off a little bit off guard during the series, but I think we will adapt well if they keep this up. And yeah, I'm not sure what I would be my first steps towards them.
Skyaart, what do you think? Who's going to make it actually between the two teams? Do you think KC can actually develop enough to challenge Koi?
I think Koi is looking way more proactive in the map, and I think, to be honest, I think Yike is not really performing that well. I think Elioya looks better, and I think Skymon was crushing Yike a lot, and I think they have to just like you said, like stabilize when they are behind. They need to stabilize a lot. They did the same mistake as Vitality on several games, and I think you just throw a game. So don't be tilted and try to make. I think drafts that have more possibilities as well, because I think G2 you won also the drafts. I think for me, you had easier. I think more opportunities, and I think when you have more opportunities in a draft, the game feels smoother. I believe.
Do you think that's going to continue at MSI, Skyaart? Like, you're watching a lot of LCK right now, and you're talking to Caps who 6-0'd the two representatives at first stand. Are we going to see that again from our boys?
Yeah. I'm sadly casting a minor region, but yeah, actually, 6-0, I was like, crazy. I think Fearx wasn't the best Korean team, but I think Genji, wow, the crazy guys. But I think it was really deserved. I think you played fucking well. So
Will it happen
so I
again?
can't wait to
Will
see-
it happen
Yeah, yeah.
again? You have full
I think-
confidence.
Yeah,
LCK has got
it can definitely happen again. I think you guys destroy Genji after
No.
you. The Genji was
Skyaart.
crying babies like this.
Skyaart, not it can happen again. Of course, anything can. I'm asking you. You're my LCK. Will it happen again? Will this G2
It
do
will happen,
it?
but maybe not 2 times, but it will happen again.
Okay. Caps, what do you think of Skyaart's not the most confident prediction?
I'm confident, but
Yeah, I mean, I think, I'm definitely excited for MSI, right? Like, it's always hard to just like again predict results because so much of it comes down to like how we perform on the day, but also like the patch and stuff. So our main focus is just making sure we have a strong final and learn as much as we can for them. We also get to do a bootcamp in Korea, which is I think will be amazing because the fact that the tournament is in Korea, like usually it's quite hard to do a bootcamp because not all the teams will go to the destination like we are going to like weeks in advance. But also going to Korea to bootcamp can also be difficult because then you have to deal with like the jet lag when you then fly to your like final destination. So the fact that we can just go Korea bootcamp for I think 2 weeks or something like that in the T1 facility as well. We can steal like some of their buffs, you know, their T1 buffs.
get Yura.
Let's talk about this stuff because when you do get to go to MSI, obviously, like Caps, watching you play such a joy. You've always got such a big smile. Like you're a very inspirational player. But I know when you get to play against LCK players, LPL players, LCS, any of the international players, you also give everybody the respect, right? So you and Faker are two names that are synonymous with League of Legends. What is it like playing against Faker, especially when I think it is incredibly fair to say that you are currently the stronger mid laner?
Well, thank you for the trust here. I think no, I mean it's always exciting, and I think the thing about Faker, especially unlike a lot of, I mean not unlike a lot of mid-laners, but I think he is not necessarily the strongest laner, but you can like really never count Faker out. Like he has won so many games against us where it was really looking like it was going to be our win, or it was looking like he was having a bad game, but he just picks us off one by one. He finds a pick on me or Hans or on anyone really on our team, and he has the confidence to just go for it. So it's scary to play the games we're playing right now. And like yesterday, we're obviously scared, like going through the game. So like we are like, what do you say? Like we are worried, making sure that everything is perfect. But when we're up against T1, it's like Vega adds another layer to it, and it's definitely like him you need to be on the lookout for.
How many other regions or teams have that feeling for you, Caps? Like how many times do you get into a game and like maybe more like an LCO or an A team is just like, oh shit, it's Caps. Oh my god.
I mean, I think different players have different strengths. I think I'm cutting out. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, I think maybe Quickshot cut out. But anyway,
never mind. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no worries.
It's coming back.
Yeah, I mean, basically just to say, I think like Vega is definitely like unique in that. I think in like the playmaking aspect, I think other players have different strengths, right? Like for example, like someone like Chovy, I really need to make sure that I'm sharp in like my laning phase. I need to not like let him take over the game because he will if you let him. And yeah, I mean, different players have different strengths, right?
I think Faker is a very creative person in the map. They are actually looking very strong, actually. I've been looking all the games. And they are very good at fighting when they are behind. I mean, on taking position, defending position, fighting with 6k behind, on not such a late game state. And it's actually very, very interesting. So I can't wait to see you guys. I think you will improve so much in the scrim. Even go more step, and I think also they will respect you even more. I mean, they already respect you for sure, but now maybe they'll say, okay, we will fight the best region in the world, so we need to lock in.
Can I ask you this, by the way, Caps? I have this theory that G2 as a team, and I think it doesn't matter which roster, I think when I go back at all the years, G2 as a team is better against the LCK than the LPL. First of all, do you agree or disagree? And if yes, why?
I mean, I think that's definitely fair to say. I mean, just like historically, we've definitely done significantly better against LCK, despite like I would say the LCK teams honestly even being better than a lot of the LPL teams on average. For example, I heard as well that like when we won against T1 in 2019, like FPX were like they were cheering, they were very happy because apparently they were getting like smashed by T1 in scrims, and meanwhile against us it was looking a bit easier for them. So I think like the biggest problem for us against LPL is just definitely just like they're very aggressive, especially early game, and they play very fast, so we don't really get to come up with our best plans, and we just get caught out a lot of times and put in like very far behind very fast. So we just need to think faster or like play a bit more with like our instincts.
Yeah, I think chaotic styles force you to adapt quicker, and you can't really just use your fundamentals. And I think also like cheese can be a bit weird because it will change the dynamic of the game. So yeah, we need to watch out a bit.
I feel like LPL players in general are also going to, in my opinion, respond or react better to different drafts, weirder drafts, stranger drafts, because I think not only is the player base and the servers so much bigger, which means there's so much more variation. I think even when you do look at LPL drafts themselves, there's a different flavor to what I see from LCK. So the surprise picks, like the Pikes mid, for example, not that surprising. Like I go back to Doinby's like Nautilus mid and how much of a pioneer he was considered at the time, But in terms of now the international competition, let's also talk about Esports World Cup, because you got MSI, you got Esports World Cup. We already know the focus is on Worlds. How is this additional pressure? Like First Stand is bigger than it's ever been. MSI is different. EWC is growing. It's even bigger this year. Does this make you more excited? And does EWC count as as part of the Golden Road?
Well, it's definitely exciting. I think also the fact that just like the formats are just so many best of fives, and we get to play like First Stand already was like so many best of five back to back to back. We get to get so much experience, and we get to honestly just learn a lot. So I'm really excited about that for both EWC and MSI as well. And I think does it count for the Golden Road? Well, I mean we lost First Stand already, so I guess either way we're not getting there. So let's
say yes.
BLG decide that.
Yes, so no one gets it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Skyaart, how exciting is that the EWC is coming to Paris with the announcement?
I think it's so good actually, because French crowd will cheer a lot and will be very happy to have an event in France. I also think that just like you said, the more events that we have internationally, the better they will earn experience, and I think it's super important because you will be able to bring new meta, new cooked picks. I think you have been known for this, and I think in fearless drafts the value is high, and I think it's your meta read before the patch will have an insane value, and I can't wait to see it. I think MSI will be an amazing tournament, and I can't wait to cast.
I agree entirely. I'm looking forward to it. Let's also just stay in France for just a couple more questions. Skyaart, Esports Nations Cup. I haven't dived into the rosters, so I'm not familiar with these, and I doubt you are as well. But
sorry,
we know some of
can
our
you speak in
players.
French?
Yeah, there we
you
go.
Said welcome to France, so I can't speak
yeah,
English.
Exactly,
French people don't speak English. Je suis français. I don't know English.
French roster, Danish roster, Turkish roster, German roster. Like, how excited are you for the Nations Cup? And like, do you actually have high expectations for your nation to stand up and do well?
I think it depends about China and Korea, because I've been casting Asian games as well, and wow, they look good. they are not bad. They are not first time, I believe. So it depends if they play or not. I still don't know if both play or not, but I think yes, it's going to be a very fun tournament. People have been waiting for many years, so I think it's going to be very cool to watch, and I can't wait to see the different teams, because I think every country has their strengths and their weakness. Like Turkish players only have top laners. I don't know why. And I'm joking. But just in France, we don't have many top laners, for example. So I think it's very cool to watch, and I think it's going to be funny.
What do you think of the Nations Cup, Caps, and how different it is in comparison to every other tournament you competed in?
Oh yeah, I mean it's definitely gonna be very exciting. I think playing League in Danish is something I haven't really done since like I guess 2015. I think was the last time I played with like a Danish team, so to say. So that's gonna be interesting for sure. Maybe I'll need to learn some new words or relearn something. But I'm also just super excited. I think we like again. I don't have the highest hopes of us like beating like the Chinese team, the Korean team. But I do think we can beat everyone in Europe, and like I've already talked with like some of my teammates, right? We already said like if I'm playing any of them, we are taking them down. Whether it's like France or Greece, so it's gonna be fun.
That's awesome. I love that. Straight to camera. France and Greece. Denmark is coming for you. I think Denmark would have been even stronger 4 or 5 years ago. True or false, Caps?
I mean, I think that's pretty true. Yeah, honestly, I think our second team 5 years ago might have been stronger than us now. But even regardless, we will still take it.
Can I stick on give me, if you could make any time period, any player, and you could teleport them all now at their absolute peak, who would your 5 Danish players be on your team?
I think top lane is definitely Wunder. I guess wait, there's also the other guy. Actually, I forgot his name. But okay, like season 2.
Just go with Wunder. It's safer.
Yeah, it's
okay,
safer.
I'll look it up.
Okay. No, I will go with Wunder. I think for jungle, I would probably just go with. I think Broxer would probably be my peak, especially if Lee Sin is meta. Then that's a safe choice. On mid, I would take myself. And bot lane, I think it would probably be. I think Sven. I think Sven is a pretty safe bet as well. And then support, I think I would probably say Jess's support. But I could also see like a cheeky Bjergsen coming in there or something.
Oh, I love the roll swap Bjergsen. That is a sick team. Skyaart, same question, but French.
Wow, all time.
All time. Any player from any region, you could teleport them in now, and that would be your top 5.
I would take So's top lane. I would take jungle. I would take Skymon. Just a new player. I mean, not so good, rookie. But yeah, learning the jungle.
At his peak.
80 carry. I think I will pick Sama, more experience. And as support, I will pick Yellow Star because he's a legend.
Of course.
And mid lane, I don't know actually. Mid lane, I don't know.
Mid-lane,
I will pick Caps and give him double nationality.
What about Vitio? No? Mid lane? What about role swapping someone? No?
Yeah, I don't know.
Niski, no?
It's Belgium, but
Belgium. That's
it's
so embarrassing. I'm South African.
Belgium and France is the same, but
listen,
not for everyone.
I'll summarize this. There's no good mid laners in France. You heard it here from Skyaart on the HopEUm podcast. That's what he's saying.
I would pick you probably, but yeah.
Any French mid laners out there, you are needed. You need to start.
There we go. Let's start to wrap things up a little bit. I'll say let's look forward. Okay, the 2 teams in playoffs we haven't talked about is Navi and Giants. I think it's fair to say they're going to have a tough time ahead of themselves with what we've seen from KC and Vitality. But Caps, what do you expect from the rest of the playoffs and the teams remaining in the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, I don't expect that much from Navi and Giants. Honestly, I think coming into especially winter, I was like quite excited about Navi. Just because they outperformed like a lot of my expectations, and like playing against them, it did look like they like had some solid plans and they like knew what they were doing. So I think that was definitely like fun to see. But I also feel like we didn't really see the growth from them, I guess. So I don't have too many expectations from them and Giants. And I think for Vitality, Koi and KC, I mentioned earlier, right? Like I definitely think both KC and Koi would be favored against Vitality. Of course, they can surprise, but I would expect like a KC Koi semifinals, and from there it gets a bit tougher. Like I I feel like saying Koi just because I think they did so much better against us, like their last few matches than Casey did. But at the same time, when I'm looking at like the head-to-head matchup, I do think Casey was decent at like actually like neutralizing, especially the mid-jungle, which is where Koi gets a lot of the advantages. And I honestly think we'll probably play against Casey in the final.
Skyaart, same predictions.
I think Koi is looking way better, but I used to think Casey was the better team, but I think they didn't show up very well. I think they have to change a lot of their play style and also drafts. I think they have to maybe play more simple drafts that they can execute easier because I mean, Yike looked so tilted with Wukong. he was having an hard time, I believe. So actually, I don't know. I think it will be a very, very good game. I think it will be 3-2 for one of them. And I can't wait to look at it because with the trash talk and stuff, it's going to be funny. I mean, obviously I'm French, so I will be cheering for Casey, but I'm not sure they are playing well enough. But I think on paper, I would have put them favorite because I think they have better laners. And but
I think their potential is higher. That's where I come at this. I think Casey's
that's my point
ceiling
too.
looks higher than Koi's when they're playing well. I also think Casey's floor looks worse than Koi, and they're just more variable. That's what it is to my eyes. I'm expecting Koi to make the finals, and we'll see whether or not Navi, Vitality, or Giant can surprise. We're gonna say our goodbyes. Skyaart, would you like to say goodbye to Caps and everybody else, and then I'll do the same for Caps.
Okay. Thank you guys, and. I can't wait to see your game. I think you are a better player than a dancer. Just saying. And thank you and have a good day. Ciao.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you,
Caps,
Quickshot. Thank you.
Say goodbye to any friends, fans, family, people watching at home.
No, I mean, just a big thank you for having me here as well. It was a pleasure to talk with you guys, and for all the fans watching. I hope you guys survived yesterday's games. I know my mom was definitely a bit scared throughout a lot of the series. She would have preferred like the series going a different way, and I can understand a lot of the fans are similar. So I'm sorry for how it must have felt, but we'll look to do better in the final.
Listen, we've watched enough G2 games to know it's a roller coaster. We need the content game out of the way. You need the heartaches. Massive, massive love to your mother and father as well. Cap's dad. I'm sure many people are aware of just how active the family is. And Caps, thank you so much. This was one of the more intense interviews that we've had, and I'm very appreciative for your time. You guys can drop and say goodbye. Thank you, guys.
Ciao.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Ciao. Oh, that was awesome. That was awesome. Thank you so much for sticking around. We're going to start wrapping up the show in just a moment. I have one last segment to get to. Before I do, though, I don't know what's happening with my browser. My browser just kept crashing. So hopefully I'll get that fixed for next week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to Skyaart. Thank you to Caps. Thank you to Broken Blade from past Trevor. Make sure you guys let us know what you enjoyed about the show. We obviously have a HopEUm channel on the G2 Discord. Drop a comment if you're watching on YouTube. Leave a review if you're listening on Spotify. And if you didn't know we have all of those platforms, go check them out. G2 LOL on, or G2 League, I think it is, on YouTube. We got our playlist there, our videos there, our VODs there, and hopefully we'll be able to clip out some of these special interviews from today. The last thing that we do have to do every single week is our Winamax Predictions, brought to you by Winamax, of course. So let's take a look at what you voted and expected from last week's games. They are the same as mine. That is why I have accepted the logos and I've placed my terrifying face on this image. The artwork is amazing. I do like the spring theme, but that is a terrifying smile. I also predicted G2, Koi, and of course G2 to win the respective series. The only difference is I wasn't 55-45 on the Koi versus Vitality. I knew, I have been saying it for weeks. I anticipated that Vitality were going to struggle in that first round. I still think they're going to struggle, but maybe they can take out KC, and I'm going to maybe see Koi versus Vitality in that lower bracket final. We will be asking you to continue to give us your predictions over in the G2 Discord. Hop into that HopEUm channel. Let us know what you think. There's a G2 League channel. That's actually where the votes will be taken from. And thank you so much for watching. This was an absolute pleasure. It was an absolute blast. Thank you for tuning into the co-streams that we've also been doing. We got to watch G2 taking down KC 3-0 for the Esports World Cup qualifiers. That'll be following MSI. We're talking to the team throughout the rest of them. We will be back next week. Same time, Tuesday. The best, number one, most amazing, incredible League of Legends European podcast. HopEUm out.